Welcome to Game 2 of the first match between Snowghost and Tatooine. Snowghost is up by 1. This is a best of 3.
And Snowghost over here has switched over to the French after winning on the Mongols.
Can play the Mongols.
As Tatooine has decided to switch to the English. A very nice and defensive team, or offensive, and in a map like this, it could come to great advantage.
Now let's make sure we are coordinated. I'm at 30 seconds right now. How about you?
I'm at 36.
All right, pause for 2 seconds, and we'll get back in sync. All right. Well, Lippany is sometimes this does this, and it is a close spot. Wow.
They are a hair's breadth away from each other. And with both of their landmarks allowing them to quickly produce units, you could be looking at some crazy early aggression.
It looks like we are getting the mill opener from the English, but is very interesting because he does not have a large wood supply.
No, but luckily the English don't really need a large wood supply to get their farms up and running.
8 on sheep, 9 on sheep for the French.
Looking that early food lead and going right onto the gold.
Pretty standard right there. You have the you have about 8 on food. This is 9, but 9, 8, pretty close. You have 9 on food, and then you go straight to gold to try to get up as fast as possible. All right, we now do have 2 on wood for the English.
Yeah. Looking to get up either those houses or those farms, both of this requirement. Looking to go for a bit of a spread on the farms. Hopefully, looks to be that H pattern.
Do we have the H pattern come out? Now, you have informed me that there is the God pattern where you put the farms right on each side of the town center. So, it gives it the most level of efficiency. It's quite an impressive move. People getting very creative with these English farms, especially in the Dark Age. You know, it took a while for this to catch on. This was not a strategy that people used for a long time. It's not like the English have received a lot of changes. It's just people finally decided, yeah, I'll just get those farms up in the Dark Age, and that way I don't have to deal with food ever again for a million years.
Well, if you're not worried too much about super early aggression, it's a great way to not have to worry anything about any form of food transition or wood transition quite later, and you can just relax and not even have to worry about it. French, on the other hand, here have 4 on gold, a nice, pretty even spread of their resources, and it looks like they're going to be going up quite soon here. Having the resources, and it looks the workers are coming out to build out that school of cavalry.
Looks like we're adding a 4th. There we go. 4 people on the School of Cavalry. This is a very dangerous situation for the English. That gold mine is far away from their main base. If the School of Cavalry gets finished and a knight beelines it straight towards that gold mine, but unfortunately, if you look at Snowghost's scouting pattern, he has not found that gold mine.
He does not know where it is, and that could prove to be quite disastrous to trying to find out where it is, but we'll see.
This is one of the issues with not opening Double Scout. Double Scout really gives you a lot of map knowledge. And it also helps you a lot when people start pushing your gold mine with their Double Scouts, because that's basically what most people do once they've actually scouted the map. So if he finds this gold mine, because right now, if from what you see from Snowghost and Scouted, there isn't really that many options for harassment, because this mill is very close to the town center. But that's why you always, if you're trying to do some harassment early, you always want to find the wood line and find the gold. The gold is almost always the most vulnerable piece in anyone's defenses. Sometimes the stone mine too, but you know, most people don't take stone unless they're trying to do a double TC tactic. Alright, once again, Tatooine opting for the 1 villager landmark advance strategy. And we do have a French knight coming out, and it is rallying to the south. What a shame that he does not see this gold mine. This 1 French knight would obliterate this worker line.
Indeed. It would be quite disastrous, but we'll see. Who knows where this French knight might end up being pushed around, not wanting to dive underneath that town center.
That is true. We have a barracks coming out for the English. But a Dark Age barracks for the English does not give you spearmen. Unfortunately.
No, but just as easily, these men-at-arms could go looking to harass the French in their lines.
That's true. I will say, though, the nice thing is the English, when you get to the next stage, this Royal Knight is moving straight towards the town center. He's actually going to get a kill on this villager. One more hit. He doesn't have the blacksmith quite yet. English town center, even without anything garrisoned in it, is going to do a lot of damage, and the knight is forced back. He does not see the gold mine yet, but he is engaging the scout. The scout is dragging the knight back under the machine gun nest. No villagers garrisoned. Very lucky for Snowghost right there.
And we do have men-at-arms being produced out of the barracks. It looks like some early defense in the form of pretty tanky units is the way to go. And another French knight coming out. Probably going to engage that vanguard men-at-arms.
And we do have half of a bicycle coming in with wheelbarrow being produced for the English. Will we have a unicycle, or will we get a full bicycle by having the other one? I don't know if I like that analogy, but really I can only try to reinforce how important wheelbarrow is for any game that you play. Do not forget wheelbarrow. Do everything you can to get wheelbarrow. Right now,
the knight has caught up to the men-at-arm, and it is wreaking absolute havoc.
He has switched targets to the other men-at-arms, and now it's on the scout. So he's being dragged again towards the machine gun.
Oh,
that was some pretty good micro attempt right there by Tatooine, but the scout goes down to the second knight. Both knights underneath the town center, though, they are very low, very low. The machine gun town center might take out the second knight.
But it will get away.
If that town center was garrisoned, that fight would have stopped in about 1 second.
This council hall almost about to come up, giving a much-needed longbow support to this army.
And access to spears.
That is also going to be massively helpful.
These Royal Knights do not have the healing yet from the Chivalry tech. It is definitely hurting Snowghost's ability to continue putting on this pressure. But he is going to go for this house that is outside the range of the TC. Very good targeting. We have Longerman coming out from the council hall. Here come the men-at-arms. One of them legitimately has 1 HP.
Oh, and Longbow's taking some pot shots at the Royal Knight, doing 3 damage. 3 damage per shot. It takes quite a bit of shots to kill down Royal Knight, but it will slowly poke them out of the way.
With 190 health, 3 damage per shot is definitely not amazing. But it does slowly get through when you have 40 people. That's with 40 longbowmen, right? You're talking about
another stable coming down with more knights in queue.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, 40 longbowmen can 2-tap a Royal Knight.
Ooh, a very ambitious English wall coming in.
That is an ambitious wall, but Anthony is known for his very ambitious walling.
Indeed. Well, with this, the army, though, for Tatooine here is definitely going to be in quite a bit of trouble, though. It is... I don't think it can handle 3 French knights. And this knight is about to run into it, revealing what's happening. Oh, and this army's about to engage. Oh, that is not going to go well.
No, these knights are incredibly tanky. Longmen are trying to focus down one knight.
Oh. And it does not look like it's going to go well. These longbows are just going to try to run away. And these men-at-arms are not in a good position.
No, they're not. That knight might go down here. One knight goes down to the English longbows.
This wall continues to be constructed, but the worker will not be long for this world.
No, he's not. Oh. Alright, now we got the French burning this wall. So.
Well, they don't have much else to do, and they don't know where the gold mine is, so it makes more sense here in this case to secure your entrance into the side of the base here.
Absolutely. We still have these two stables building French Knights. The question is, will we get some spearmen from the English here? And we do have one spearman coming in right now. French Knights are once again, they're just going in and engaging, trying to clean up all the English units. The English are getting the town center bonus attack speed.
But these knights
Snowghost
are just
leading the spearmen away with the scout, sacrificing the scout in order to keep the spearmen away from the knights. That longman again has 1 HP and is cleaned up. Looks like the English just got their army cleaned up right here. This is a very bad situation for the English. At least on an army side, but their economics still very much intact.
Indeed. Chivalry is now in, and those French knights are slowly healing up when they're out of combat here.
An unfortunate coincidence, because they are burning this wall, which is stopping the healing.
Indeed. It will make a bit of a difference. A horseman coming in now as a choice, too.
Tatooine floating a ton of gold right now. 1,500 gold in the bank.
That is quite a bit. Looks like that wall will be going down here soon. And more spearmen finally coming on. Men-at-Arms not providing the cover the longbows need.
You know, and that's one of the things about longbowen. The key to longbowen is to have more longbows and never stop building longbows.
Ooh. But unfortunately, those spearmen were not in position.
No, they were not. They are going to be able to take out one of these French Knights, though, on the right side. These French Knights are expensive. Every kill on these French Knights is worth as much as you can get. That spearman built straight into these French Knights. This harassment by Snowghost is really keeping the English from building any kind of mass. We are going to lose... Oh! Barely gets out. 1 HP on that French Knight.
That is a lot of resources that will be healing in the background.
Absolutely. Now, the French Knights are going around. Will he find the wood line or this giant farm? Very vulnerable.
Question. Those longbows are going to end up pulling the Royal Knights, but they're being dragged away. And the Knights themselves are now going for the tower. That one Knight that was healing a little bit too aggressive and will be shot down. They do find the wood line.
They did find the wood line. They're just trying to get any kills they can. They pick up one. Oh, and finally... Oh, no. I thought they were going to go for the gold mine, but he's going to be driven north. Driven north means he's finally going to see it.
No doubt. That one spearman...
He does not see it. The sight range is just a little too small for him to see it. He misses the gold mine by just a millimeter. Horseman... Quick micro to bring the horseman out forward, the one with more HP, cleaning up even more units. Going back again into the wood line. Another wave of harassment barely lets that villager get away. Very aggressive playstyle by Snowghost right here, but it is slowly costing him. This army of knights has been getting slowly picked off by the English town center, which is garrisoned with 8 villagers, really increasing the amount of damage that can be done. Nice healing up, returning right back again into this wood line, gonna try to get another pick. This is one of the most important reasons to get this blacksmith, because a blacksmith would allow it to, but that machine gun is just taking these knights apart, making this harassment almost over, but we have a new fresh batch and some healed batch. Oh, here we go.
And we're going around the long way here.
This group of knights, will they find the gold mine? Will they find it? They're going straight to it. They're about to come across it right now. They find the gold miners, finally finding these exposed gold miners and just cleaning them up. Not that Tatooine needs any gold right now, but at least he finds that position. Going to Tatooine's vision, it must be a terrifying experience. As you can see, these French Knights are all around him right now, and he's got to continuously pay attention from multiple angles. But that one French Knight that's coming in with a horseman, they are very low. The villagers are joining in, the town center is joining in, and they're just being shot to pieces.
Villager does get taken down for the life of 2 of those horsemen.
From a resource perspective, you know, Snowghost has lost a lot in these harassments with these French Knights, but he has kept the numbers down for Tatooine0 here. Tatooine0 on 32 villagers and Snowghost on 40 villagers.
Those 9 extra villagers are the big advantage, and as long as there's not a second town center in play, the French have the advantage with that faster working town center, which
unfortunately Snowghost has been experiencing some downtime on his town center with the focus on this harassment.
Ooh, and the White Tower, very defensive choice, but will secure that wood line for the time being.
Will we go with the 1 villager strat? No! No, Tatooine is now choosing to use the 6 villager strat on building these wonders. No longer going to be relying on just 1 worker to complete them. That is that's a very well-placed White Tower, absolutely. Combining that with the town center secures the wood line, allowing him to keep the production up of his trash units, which the Longbowmen are the best trash unit, arguably, in the game.
The Guildhall calling out both players now transitioning into Castle Age. Which should prove well beneficial, though Guildhall, much more of an economic choice.
Absolutely. The French are starting to run out of food right now, though. They're the last few deer on this side that are available. Once these are gone, he's going to have to transition into a bunch of either going to the south and grabbing that last set of deer, which I don't know if he has scouted out. He's not scouted out the deer in the south, so he's going to have to make a farm transition in order to keep up this level of production, because knights are not cheap in the food department at all.
Market coming out for the English, no doubt looking to use some of that gold and to balance out the economy a little bit. And it does appear so that no more gold miners have its own. Indeed, quite the defensive bonus.
You might have been a little too quick to judge for that rebalance of the economy, because it looks like it is not a rebalance, it is a trade route.
It looks like there will be traders happening. Though I do not know how much money this will generate on how short of a distance, unless it's planning on taking the long route over to the trade route in the north. But I do not know if Tatooine has vision of it.
Tatooine does not, so he is trading with that trade route right in front of him. A very ballsy strategy, but he does not. He must feel that his gold mine isn't safe.
Well, after what's happened the last time, it is not particularly in a safe position, as no cover from the town center.
But neither is this trading post. That wall is not finished. If he goes down there, secures that trading post in the south, then he builds another wall on this upper side, he could actually fully wall this back area to generate trade, maybe even push the market back a little bit. These traders generating 10 gold apiece, they will need to complete 8 trips to provide back the gold that it costs to make them. So it will take quite a while to get return on investment, but it at least will be an infinite source of gold, assuming he can keep them alive from these French knights. And the farm transition is complete for Snowghost, so the food income will be stabilized. We still are on 1 TC. And, you know, it is always difficult to keep the workers coming in. It's one of the most challenging parts about Age of Empires for a lot of skill levels. A lot of times you get distracted, you're doing micro, and right now the French Knight's just picking up a few of these units, but he's going to quickly find that this castle is way too much to try to push into.
Yeah, especially while either those range or early upgrades, it's going to be taking quite a bit of damage from those castles. We do have quite a good mass of longbows now, which should help on any of the defense, and crossbows coming out to help defend the lines, coming out from the White Castle. So any knight harassment is looking to be quite ineffective at this point. But it looks like arquebusiers are coming out as a choice. Nice standard crossbow French army.
My favorite thing about this crossbow is hearing any person try to pronounce it, because all of us have our own different way of saying it. Arquebusiers. French crossbowmen, right? The French crossbows coming in. Now, the French crossbows do have the, more armor. The more armor.
It looks like Tatooine has decided the strategy of just queue it up as far as you can with villagers, which is not terrible of an idea to make sure you don't forget reducing them.
No, it's not. If you have a ton of food and you really just want to dump it, generally speaking, you shouldn't fill a queue this much. If you can fill a queue this much, might be looking for a second town center. which, looking at his resource count, he does have the wood for it, but not quite the stone. These traders absolutely going to save him, but now that he's securing this whole area, it'd be very advantageous to move this market to that back corner.
Yeah, no doubt, that extra route would be pretty helpful, but a monastery coming down, and if those relics can be secured, that would be the gold that he's looking for.
The relics are once again, favorable relic spawn for Tatooine, because we have 3 on the right side of the map, and we actually have only 2 on the left side of the map. Another side note here is this sacred site is hilariously one-sided, because if Tatooine was to wall off the small section between this tree and these cliffs, he would have the sacred site secure.
Indeed, it would be quite advantageous to recontrol and regain that map. Make sure to secure those relics for that extra 100 gold a minute. Though it looks like gold is still particularly one of the strongest problems that the English currently face, but it looks like it's trying to be resolved by sending every available worker over to that gold vein.
He is trying to do that. If he can get to Castle, he could survive off of enclosures and a trade route.
Ooh, a siege workshop coming in for the French. No doubt realizing that siege is the only way to end up pushing this. The French knights coming in, looking like they're going to be finding that gold mine and find themselves with a massive longbows right on their heels.
And they're just backing up. I mean, in the previous match, we had this same matchup in unit composition. Snowghost, heavy on the cavalry. Tatooine, heavy on the archers. In that previous matchup, one of the defining aspects of their engagement was the use of mangonels by Snowghost. So let's see if he uses them once again to try to win these engagements against these masses of archers and push to victory. Or if Tatooine is going to mass Springolds preemptively in order to deal with the weakness of his army.
Blacksmith coming in for the French to give that very helpful free melee damage increase.
2 melee damage increase, actually, because we are now in the Castle Age. The Iron Undermesh would be massive here. And the English completing this extremely aggressive wall. I mean, Tatooine in his walling is quite impressive. He goes for the big bucks here. Unfortunately, those villagers are on the other side of that wall. If he just orders them back into the base, they are going to run straight at those French knights, so that he's going to need to make a gate or have them go mine a gold mine on the other side of the map.
Yes, and there is still a choke point, and they have chosen to walk towards the Springald, and they're going to take a shot, losing one of the villagers.
We have trade coming out for the French.
Not a bad decision. Does Snowghost know? Oh, of course Snowghost knows of the trade routes. They are the French.
Exactly. The French begin with the ability to see it. And he is doing an extremely long trade route from the bottom corner of the map all the way to the top.
Very ambitious trade route to set up, but will be very lucrative if we can make it all the way back.
When your opponent is using a lot of slow archers, like the Longbowmen are, it's not necessarily that dangerous to try to go for it. You have the superior movement speed here as the French. You're definitely able to secure your trade routes as the trader just pushes past the cavalry extremely rudely. And to the south, I mean, Snowghost is in a pretty commanding position here. Let's take a quick look at, let's do a quick villager check, shall we? We are at 62 villagers for Tatooine, and we are at 62 villagers for Snowghost. Tatooine able to make up those losses by having villagers produce continuously. That just shows you the importance. But actually, we got a mangonel coming out from the white tower, and looks like he is going to say, I'm not going to use Sprinkles this time. I'm just going to kill your units faster than you kill mine. So we have these mangonels coming in to give support to his army. The real question is, in a fight, how will he keep those mangonels alive from those French knights? And I might have spoke too soon, because we now have the mobile infantry moving to the north onto the sacred site.
After taking a shot from that Springle, they have decided to reposition themselves. The biggest problem the English currently have is they do not have a good front line to fight against all those knights. As you mentioned, not only can they not protect their mangonel that they just produced, but they can't protect their archers too much.
That's exactly right. If you have a big enough massive longbows, if there isn't a lot of micro involved, you could have the front line produce the little stakes, palins. Let's call them pain walls. They can produce little pain walls. He's gonna go onto this hilltop and he sees the entire French army massing. Oh no, he's gonna be able to catch this traitor. And look at that. So
the ire of all of those knights.
But he just grabbed all that aggro, and these longmen are not going to be able to win this fight against these French knights. These French knights absolutely tearing them apart.
No,
and so yes, you might be in danger if you have a trade out this far, but you can react quickly. And look at those French traders coming back with 190 gold. The English having a lot of traders here, but they're only bringing back 10 apiece. It takes 19 drop-offs to equal the same as one of these from across the map. If this market was on the back corner, Tatooine would be rolling in the cash. But what is this play? We have pure villagers guarding the mangonels as a front line.
I commend the bold strategy here to try to protect the siege.
This is a bold strategy to protect the siege. The villagers trying to be a makeshift army of the longbowmen, but they just cannot stand up to the French knights either. I guess we can round up the professionals, you send in the peasants. And now that that has been cleared out, both of the major siege weapons for the English have been eliminated, but he is queuing up more mangonels. That singular hit right there, I think, has separated the two players. That is correct. That single loss separated the players between their two army sizes. The French knights looking to run rampant into the middle of the English base, and this is a huge problem for Tatooine here. He has no way to shut this down. Even with the English town center trying to shoot at these knights could run rampant through it. They're just cleaning up all of the new units being produced. We have a keep going down right next to the town center. Does Snowghost see this keep? Does he try to take it out?
Going for the villagers, cleaning up the sides, seeing the mangonels, but that trebuchet is coming in from the backside. So it is going to be quite difficult unless there is counter siege being produced. It will slowly but surely start pushing down everything that the English will dare.
This is a devastating situation for Tatooine. These villagers might not even be able to get up this keep, and they've already cleared out the two entire farm areas. We now have Tatooine down to 33 villagers. There is almost no income left. He is sitting on a ton of food and wood, so he does have the ability to build units. But right now, the only two production areas he has are the landmarks and this barracks, and they're just building straight into these French knights. French knights keeping right on top of these men-at-arms coming out. We do have a mangonel in the north, but right now, Tatooine is sitting on only 3 units. This is not looking good. He's got to be able to mass and shut down these trebs, or he's going to be out of this game in just a few moments.
And it's not looking good. And while any Springle production, the English player is in a very tight spot. But that keep will be finished constructed. It will be placed down. There's one worker bravely finishing this keep before it goes down.
The classic Tatooine strategy. One-man army.
Other than that, it looks quite in a very precarious situation. But a bit of reserves wanting to spend on additional...
Castle Hall is down. Council Hall is down. 2 more landmarks remain.
Quite the difficult spot. No, that gold income is slowly coming in by those small traders, making small gains in the south that has not been disrupted. And another siege workshop coming in, and the Springle being produced to hopefully counter siege. No doubt going for the keep first before going methodically to the town hall. And
we have the Imperial Age advance from Snowghost, who has 2,520 gold in the guild hall. They are trading on the stock market, making bank.
And a college of artillery. Those cannons would be quite devastating in the bush, but the surrender comes through, giving the GG over to Snowghost.
Winning the first set of the Wolf In-House tournament.